75 days to go, 2.5 short months, 10 weeks.
This is the warning.
On Election Day, there will be somewhere in America the final vote cast, and then it will be over. We will have decided, and all there will be left to do is to wait for the results of a free and fair election. That election will set the course for the balance of the 21st century. And before you vote, understand something. Donald Trump has pledged to be a dictator. Donald Trump has pledged to round up 10 million people and lock them into concentration camps. It has to be the word, because that's what they are. Donald Trump has promised that he alone can fix everything. Donald Trump has promised retribution and revenge. Night 3 of the Democratic National Convention was more antidote. It was an offering of better to the American people. Mayor Pete, now Secretary Pete, talked about better. And of course, there was this moment of surprise.
Please welcome Oprah Winfrey.
We can't wait to leave here and do something. And what we're going to do is elect Kamala Harris as the next president of the United States.
Wow, what a speech. This will be remembered for a long time. This declaration matters. It's everything. This is the identity that we share. We're Americans. And we heard from a great one, the exact type of person you want to have in politics. Do you want broken people like Ted Cruz, who have been plotting their presidential campaign since age 7? Or do you want good citizens who somehow, through fate, through service, through contributions in their community, get involved in service? They could be scout leader, they could be a teacher, they could be a coach, and then they run for office. That's what happened to Tim Walz. Completely normal person. A coach, sergeant major of his National Guard unit, retiring with the rank of Master Sergeant after 24 years of service. Somebody known in the community, like there are men and women in all communities across America, by the simple honorific coach. That's an important title in America. Coach Walz. This man went to Congress. And then he became governor, vice presidential nominee of the Democratic Party, a heartbeat away from the presidency, should he win. Politics in America was never designed for a permanent political class. It was never designed for some type of permanent governing elite. It's the work of citizenship. Tim Walz was a citizen, became a congressman, became a governor, and now he's on a national ticket. There is something providential about America. In our dark hours, when there seems to be hopelessness, providentially, we have leaders emerge from the ether, it seems. Whether it's Martin Luther King in his late 20s, whether it's John Lewis, even younger, whether it's Dwight Eisenhower, a lieutenant colonel in the Army, not promoted in almost 15 years. Americans step up, and they always have. And man, did Oprah Winfrey step up.
When a house is on fire, we don't ask about the homeowner's race or religion. We don't wonder who their partner is or how they voted. No, we just try to do the best we can to save them. And if the place happens to belong to a childless cat lady, well, we try to get that cat out too.
Wow, wow, wow. The third night of the Democratic National Convention has shown a brilliant beam of light on two things: possibility and the terribleness that is to come if this country points a gun at its head and pulls the trigger. while yelling Trump. It will be an act of national suicide by a man carrying the euthanasia bag. He has told us clearly what he will do. And last night, Coach Walz, Sergeant Major Walz, Governor Walz made it clear some of the most important things that will be said over the next 75 days have been said, have been spoken in the last 48 hours. Oprah Winfrey, Governor Walz, Doug Emhoff, First Lady Michelle Obama, and President Obama, they have laid out in brilliant and clear terms the choice. And lest anyone forget how talented Bill Clinton is, the big dog still has his bark.
What does her opponent do with his voice? He mostly talks about himself. So the next time you hear him, don't count the lies, count the eyes. He's like one of those tenors opening up before he walks out on stage, like I did, trying to get his lungs open by singing me, 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 me. When Kamala Harris is president, every day will begin with you, 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 you.
This is the choice. It's been outlined. And now we wait for the main event, the Vice President of the United States taking the podium as the Democratic nominee, like Franklin Roosevelt, like Harry Truman, like John Kennedy, like Jimmy Carter, like Bill Clinton, like Barack Obama. Now it is Kamala Harris's turn, the child of immigrants from Oakland, delivering the acceptance speech at the Democratic National Convention. America is an extraordinary place. We should feel deep love for it and a deep commitment to make certain that this magnificent experiment is handed down behind us. There is someone arriving in America today as an immigrant, legally. Their story's beginning. They'll meet a spouse here. They'll get married. When they have kids, those two immigrants will have an American child grow up to be our president. Anybody who doesn't want to live in that country has rocks in their head. What a place. It is magnificent. And on day 3, Oprah Winfrey reminded us of how much that is true. Let's close out with Oprah.
We won't go back. We won't be set back, pushed back, bullied back, kicked back. We're not going back. Not going back. We're not going back. So, let us choose truth, let us choose honor, and let us choose joy.
One day to go until the closeout of the Democratic National Convention. And let me make a prediction. Vice President Harris's speech, well, it's going to be spectacular. And it's going to be an antidote to this idiocy. It's time to cancel the show. This is the warning. Do something. Get involved. Vote. And make sure everybody you know is ready to vote in November.
I'm Steve Schmidt. This is The Warning, and I invite you to subscribe on our Substack, on our YouTube channel. Follow us. Welcome to the community.